La Masia have produced some of the greatest players to ever play the game: Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, and, well, the greatest ever, Lionel Messi. The next generation of La Masia stars has already begun, the likes of Balde, Ansu Fati, Gavi. The best out of all of them for me, though, is Pedri. Since he's broken into that Barcelona team, he has been absolutely fantastic, and that is who I'm going to be focusing on in this video. At just 20 years of age, Pedri has become an integral player for both Barcelona and Spain. He started every World Cup match, though it was a poor tournament for Spain. Pedri's performances were good at the World Cup, and it's been the same with Barcelona. No player has won more points for their club than Pedri in the Liga this season. Pedri scored 6 goals in the Liga this season, but I don't think that attacking stat really does him justice. I think the passing is very interesting when you compare him to one of the best midfielders on the planet, Kevin De Bruyne. As of this season, Pedri averages 8.14 progressive completed passes per game, compared to Kevin De Bruyne, who is 8.12. Although it is narrow, Pedri does complete more progressive passes than Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best playmakers on the planet. I'm going to stick with Kevin De Bruyne in terms of comparisons, though I don't think De Bruyne is as much of a dribbler as Pedri is, and the stats do show that. De Bruyne has attempted 29 dribbles in the Premier League this season with a success rate of 58.6%. Pedri's attempted 43 dribbles with a success rate of 62.8%. Now, I do think the comparison with De Bruyne is a little bit unfair because they are different players, but it is very impressive, Pedri's statistics. Another interesting statistic is 89% of you are not subscribed. 89%, how's that possible? Subscribe. I've just compared Kevin De Bruyne to Pedri. Kevin De Bruyne is obviously the better player. He's at the peak of his powers. Pedri is only 20, but there are other younger players that I think it is fair enough to compare to Pedri. For example, there's often comparisons between Pedri and Jude Bellingham, and I was really interested in this because for me, I would definitely have Pedri. I think he is the better player. So I put a poll on my community tab and 75% of people said Bellingham was the better player. I was planning on using that poll as an example of how good Pedri is. Now I'm using it as an example of how underrated he is, that 75% of people think Jude Bellingham is better. Don't get me wrong, Jude Bellingham is a fantastic player, but I think the fact he is English does overrate him to a certain extent. Very good player, but I don't think he's better than Pedri. I don't think he's better than Gavi. Like I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, La Masia has produced both Xavi and Iniesta and Gavi and Pedri, and you see so many similarities between the players. I think Pedri is very similar to Iniesta, while Xavi is similar to Gavi. And the next Busquets seems to be Busquets, who's still at Barcelona. What a guy. In La Liga this season, Pedri has had 9 shots on target. He has scored 6 goals. Of his last 15 shots on target, he has scored 10 goals. That's a conversion rate of 66%. Let's just say your team is playing Barcelona tomorrow. Pedri has 3 shots on target. Statistically, he should score 2 goals. What I love about Barcelona is their trust in the youth. They have full trust in La Masia, and it clearly pays off. Frankie de Jong is a £75 million player, and he sits on the bench while players like Gavi and Pedri play consistently week in, week out. It's clearly a formula that works, though, so why not keep doing it? Pedri, Gavi, in the past you have Messi, Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, so many great players. It keeps working, and it will continue to do so for decades to come. Over the last few years, Pedri has become integral to Barcelona's play, and now he is starting week in, week out as they are top of the Liga, battling their greatest rivals, Real Madrid. The question I asked in this video is just how good is Pedri, and I will give you my honest opinion. Once Messi and Ronaldo were gone and this generation passes, I could see Pedri winning a Ballon d'Or. There are great players around like Haaland and Mbappe, fantastic players, no doubt about it, but I think Pedri has the ability to produce one incredibly good season that could win a Ballon d'Or. He's already producing a good season at 20, just think about 10 years time. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. The only thing that probably would stop him is the fact he's a midfielder. Luka Modric is the only real notable midfield winner in the last 20 years. That just shows how good he is, where I'm able to say Pedri is good enough to win a Ballon d'Or. It's not a crazy thing to say. I doubt you were shocked when I said it, but let me know what you think about that in the comments. Can Pedri win a Ballon d'Or? He's already won the Golden Boy Award, so why not add a Ballon d'Or to it? He's going to be a key player for Barcelona for the next 15 years. He's going to be absolutely brilliant. But let me know what you think about Pedri in the comments. Tell me how much you rate him, and do you think he is better than Jude Bellingham? Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, share this video to your friends so they know how good Pedri is. Shout out to all my members, and I will see you in the next one.